So the question at hand is how to make billions in revenue using space. Looks like an exaggerated question, but far from it. This is a legitimate illiterate speaking, and knowledge applied here is knowledge derived from the down-to-earth spaces of Mama Earth. Knowledge not written in the books. So the question is not exaggerated, and you will realize this if you have come to know the knowledge contained in the no books. No books, by no books I refer to NOBOOKS. Yes, that's called legitimate literacy. Yes, in the legitimate illiterate world, the question is not by no means exaggerated. So the question at hand is how to make billions in revenue using space. Looking at the world of today, space is very underutilized. You know, the world measures itself around money, legal tender. Humans have lost so much value that they become, measured courtesy of how much they have in their bank. Again, money. Humans are very much becoming looked at as material things, as a resource, but a resource to garner more money. That's what the world is turning into with advancements in technology, infrastructural development, and all that. It's time to go back to the basics, even to the ancient, back down to the down to earth. We are in outer space too much. All our inclination is towards outer space. That world is a world for aliens, not for humans. Let's come back down to earth and look more intently at the space just around you. I'm standing on space right now, and there's an entire road passage underutilized. All that it caters to is transportation, transportation for the most part. And if we're talking of revenue, then you talk of transportation of goods and services, one essence of the road. But currently there's nothing passing through on this road that I'm standing on. It's vacant, and there's so many times over the course of a year, over the course of a day, where this road is vacant, practically underused. So I just want you to look intently. We won't go so extravagant. Look very close to you, the space around you, the table next to you. Every time you're around the table, you want to dine. You want to satisfy the impulse of hunger. But how many more testimonial things can you do on that table, even in terms of revenue generation? Where the primary concern or use for space is its testimonial use to incite humans to mind their human, then money begins to seek you. Where you use space to that effect. So the next time you are on that dining table, while you can satisfy your impulse to eat, feed, how about pushing the food aside and trying starvation? Trying to rendezvous, trying to go into isolation for the sole sake of consciously evolving, tapping into your inner shine, your invincibility, and see where that leads. If you follow a regimen doing that, making use of the space of the table also for the testimonial essence of mining of your human, using it to ponder, wonder, exert your human virtues, look more intently at the things that you have spent ages looking at. There's so much use for the table, where it's applied towards your evolution, towards endeavors that involves marveling yourself, you as your primary audience. Over the course of time, you'll be able to appeal to the soft spot of fellow humans, to where they will give you their bucks. This is all food for thought mostly, So scenarios I won't give you too many scenarios, it's just to open your mind's eye. You walk everywhere on the streets and there's so many shops. I passed by a washing center, where there are washing machines and there's a large expanse of space for, hosting people. They just sit there, arrange their clothes, wait for their clothes to get washed. But the entirety of that space is underutilized. Where that space is utilized towards activities that incite humans to mine of their human powerful stuff. Because spirits begin to emanate. Humans are unordinary. It's time to return value to humans and see them as unordinary. There are many more things than just the physical. Although in today's printed world, humans constitute just another human. That's why there's loss of life and there's no remorse. There's no celebration of life. People aspire to become aliens, to be geek-like, godlike, attain perfection, but-like, because humans aren't seen as of that much value. Humans are stamped upon, just to climb career ladders, and as days go by, it gets worse. Nowadays, CryptoKitties, Superman have more fans than humans. People spend $30,000 to rescue a dog, while human is in a pool of their tears. Yes, the moment we start to return value to humans and use space towards that particular soul activity, returning value to humans, money will begin to seek you. That is the very truth. That is all Facebook has done, Google has done. The mind of humans, your innermost elements, they tap into that using cookies in your browser, and they establish your identity, your definition, your shine, your spirit. They collect it and process it, and in that spirit there's power, there's all wealth in its every form. And money, revenue, billions of dollars begin to seek them out. It is no coincidence. Besides, they are able to influence you, shape the world according to their bidding, because they have come to know you more than you know yourself. They can hold you accountable because they know you and you know nothing of them. So you can't hold them accountable in return. They become the standard, and the cycle exists where you ever seek conformity with that standard. It's high time we started looking at the space around us. If you are into a business, even if it's a small business, and you're able to gather 10 to 50 people over the course of the day, do you know how much power that is? Stop looking at humans as ordinary. And where humans are ordinary in reality, or half humans, then create activities using the space that you have, that gathers them, to incite them to evolve into full-blown humanhood. Now, when you are gathering full-blown humans in your hub, in your space per day, money will like that frequency. Money itself will want to be hosted by you, by everyone that is in that space. This is very powerful stuff I'm saying. You may not establish it as powerful if you're, illiterate as labeled by world standards, but complement your knowledge with legitimate literacy so that even your knowledge is whole. You have more room for evolution with knowledge that is whole, that is balanced. Then you will see more things. And when you have seen many things become ordinary. The things I'm talking about is very simple. There are tons of activities you can do on that table. It's no coincidence that people go into prison, some people go into isolation, do time consciously, and come out with unordinary knowledge, and begin to marvel people with the expanse of their mind's eye. They have made use of space, that four-corner room that you are in. In prisons, they have it smaller. very tight, smaller space, but that's all they begin to have. They begin to explore that small space, apply that enclosement towards their evolution, and tap into their innermost, deeply rooted aspects, their shine, their spirit, their invincibility. And because they're enclosed, they utilize space so much so that what that space accomplishes is bigger than what you'd accomplish on an entire acre, from that very small enclosement, because now you're having to CEO yourself, something we never do in the real world. We play pawn in another person's dream, in a cycle. We never follow a regimen where we CEO ourselves, where we are in charge of our next action, even if it's for 6 months. I'm telling you, if you do that for only 6 months, money will begin to seek you, billions in revenue. This is the truth. There's knowledge that is available only to you. It's in your innate self. It needs to be dug. And this particular knowledge is also, apart from it being stuck in your in you alone, the world needs it. And the revelation of this knowledge can only come about by you, first of all finding it, then going on to revealing it. But this knowledge needs a digging. It's in the very element, your very elements, in the innermost spaces of your stubborn genes. We're talking of space again. Oh, these dogs. Yeah, so it's high time you take a look at the things I'm saying. Your house, there's space available there. It's not about the size of the space, it's about the use of the space towards conscious evolution and gathering people for the same sake. There's so many activities you can put on your table. The next time people come, of course they will eat, they will drink and enjoy merriment. But we're talking directional merriment. Fun can be directional, applied towards conscious evolution of the human. So even where you listen to music, you're attaining the groove, you can explore your human senses, your human virtues. Apply your senses in your ways all over the course of a fun moment. So same thing, you can create fun using the space, but make sure it has more testimonial essence by making it directional fun. So after the course of the fun or escapade, humans have grown, attaining, getting closer to full humanhood. And full humanhood is in the image of the Creator, Jehovah. They have in subjection the fishes of the sea, the flying creatures of the heavens, and every earthly creation. And you can't tell me that's not a ginormous privilege. In a world filled with full-blown humans, money becomes the smaller things. Yes, money will look at you, lose its gaze, and come to Papa, wanting to be hosted by you. These things are very simple. You just need to take a look again. But take a look again with a measure of legitimate illiteracy, and of my so-called nonsense, sift of it to find sense therein. And perhaps you will see more things. Apply more of your mind's eye. Shed some of the nation. There are entire nations posed to blur your vision, to keep you in a cycle. There are entire curriculums in the world of today to keep created simply to keep world curriculums in place. Humans in a never-ending cycle of hand-to-mouthism and half-humanism. So expand your mind's eye, make its vision spanless, and then you will see many more things. Make better use of the space around you, the space you're standing, especially where humans are involved. If you have any space and you can gather humans in it, you rendezvous every day for the sole sake of mining, of your human evolving, You apply every human activity to that effect, giving it more testimonial essence, more a greater use. Apply every human activity towards the evolution of your human and those around you. Many more generation fixers will emanate into the world, and as humans, as value returns to humans, it's taken away from inanimate things like money and luxury and all that, and then money becomes the smaller things. Once money becomes the smaller things, billions in revenue, you'll own the bank. That's simple. I'm your boy Cherry. I'm a legitimate illiterate. I've written all the curriculums for legit illiteracy. If you want more clarity on this, please contact me. My email is underneath, and every means to contact me is available. Please contact me and I'll explain. I'll have a live stream with you and cater to your particular need after listening to you. Give you the right, just the right legitimate illiteracy knowledge to complement your existing knowledge. Just the right amount of knowledge for your particular ordeal, and let's go. Breakthrough is near. Make sure to stay awesome. Your boy Terry. Praise Jehovah.